This is the new Bambu Lab X2D, their newest addition to the 3D printing lineup and the successor to the X1 Carbon series of printers. So over the past 10 years I've exclusively used Prusa machines. But I picked up a Bambu Lab printer to see what all the hype is about, so this video is not sponsored. I bought this with my own money and I have zero affiliation with Bambu Lab. So I'm just gonna give you a rundown of the X2D along with my opinion on how it stacks up against some of the competition. So first things first, let's get into the specs. This has a 256 by 256 by 260 millimeter build volume, so a tiny bit bigger than the X1 Carbon. It only weighs about 16 kilos, and it has a 120 degree heated bed and a 65 degree actively heated chamber. It also comes with an activated carbon HEPA filter for those more toxic filaments like PC and ABS. Has all the stuff a lot of Bambu Lab printers have, like 1080p video camera to check on your prints to get easy time lapses. And it also has the same intuitive touchscreen and overall user interface. It has built-in Wi-Fi, ton of sensors and tools just to make getting the perfect print that much simpler, especially compared to a lot of other printers. And finally, the big one is obviously the nozzles. So the D in X2D stands for dual nozzles, and this is essentially the little brother, a little less capable than the H2D. There's a few main differences. The main one being that the two nozzles in the X2D are not equal. There's a main nozzle and there's an auxiliary nozzle. I've seen people get worked up about the fact that the auxiliary nozzle is worse because it doesn't have direct drive, but a Bowden extruder, which basically means instead of the filament being fed directly into the hot end, it's fed from behind the printer through a PTFE tube into a hot end. Then this means typically, in the past, inaccurate prints and lower quality printing overall. But things have changed since Bowden tubes went out of favor, and frankly, the only real drawback of this dual nozzle setup only applies to about 1% of users, and you're probably not one of them. So first, let's talk about the 99% of people that this works perfectly for before we get to those edge cases. First off, if you want to save on purge waste on multicolor prints, even with only the two nozzles in the X2D over 4 like the U1 or 7 in the H2C's case, most of us print objects with one main color, and then there are some other colors that we throw in there, but adding an extra nozzle helps you save on that second most used filament. The second type of person this is perfect for is the person who print supports in another material altogether. Things like PETG supports only really work reliably with dual nozzles or tool changers. Third, if you have a part that requires two different materials, like TPU joints in a PLA print, or making a container with print-in-place gaskets or seals. And now when people complain, they're complaining about really just a few things. The Bowden extruder prints slower than the main extruder. You can't feed abrasives through the second nozzle, and TPU in the second nozzle is not happening. What this means is that if you for some reason want to print glass-filled nylon with carbon fiber PETG, this setup is not for you. If you want to print glow-in-the-dark text on a PCCF print, that also is not going to happen with this. And if you want to print TPU, it has to be through the main nozzle, so no multicolor 85A TPU here. The funny part about this big miss from Bambu Lab that I've heard people call it is we're talking about a $900 printer that can't do just a couple of things. And frankly, if you need to do those things, if you're printing nylons and PCCF in the same print, it's time to step up to a more robust printer that can do higher temperatures and is more reliable anyway. Because of this, my biggest gripe with this printer is not about its features or its print quality or something it can or can't do. My only gripe is build quality. Now this is where my bias comes into play a little bit. Coming from Prusa, I'm used to big, sturdy tools that feel like they belong in a workshop, not in your living room. They're not super friendly, they're not super inviting. The X2D, on the other hand, feels like it belongs in a home office like a regular printer. It feels clean, aesthetically simple, and approachable. And that's what Bambu Lab is, and that's why they're doing so well. But the trade-off is that a more approachable machine, like a lot of the Bambu Lab machines, won't be this heavy steel brick that feels like it'll never die. it's infinitely fixable or upgradable forever. Like, that's not this machine. This machine is simple, approachable, and just you'll get great prints. So why care about a lot of the rest if it doesn't apply to you? The X2D is for people who want what this machine is now forever. You don't want to learn how to fix it when it breaks, and whether that's a year or 5 years later, it will break at some point. Nothing lasts forever. And this is for people who are comfortable saying that you'll just buy a new one in a few years when this one's no good. And that's what most people want. Finally, let's talk about what most people I'm sure are curious about, and that's print quality. So we'll talk about some of the things I printed so far and what kind of stuff you can expect from both nozzles, because I used both of them for these tests. So first I made some benchies to test both nozzle print qualities. The green is the auxiliary nozzle, and it looks just as good as the primary blue. It just took about 20% longer. Next I made a sign just to test lettering quality and overall finish, and the black is the auxiliary nozzle and the white is the main nozzle. I made this white and blue kind of ancient Greek vase, right? The blue is the auxiliary nozzle here, and it printed flawlessly. And the last thing I did was print this airplane, and I used PETG supports because the airplane is delicate and I wanted it to still be supported and not ruined when I need to rip it apart. And this is my first time doing this, and it worked flawlessly. So for this, I used PETG, generic PETG in the AMS, and the primary color of the actual object was made with the auxiliary nozzle. The reason for this arrangement is that Bambu Lab has fine-tuned the auxiliary nozzle to their filaments already. So just to avoid tweaking settings endlessly, I fed Bambu Lab filament through the auxiliary nozzle and generic PETG through the AMS. Everything was printed on stock profiles and stock settings, and they all printed really well. If you get this printer, you will not be disappointed. It makes the P2S kind of obsolete because it's only $100 more, and you're getting a lot for that $100. Even ignoring the nozzle, just the fact, one upgrade, the fact that you get a 65-degree actively heated chamber alone makes this worth it for anybody printing any advanced filaments. But now you get the perk of saving filament waste and opening up multi-material capabilities. But that's it for now. Hope you liked this. Let me know if you did. Subscribe if you did. I'm going to be trying to test out more printers in the future. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.